Good day, everyone. So our topic for today is about using Microsoft Word Office. Of course, it is important for us to familiarize and be able to use the Microsoft Word. Uh, this will be the software wherein we could able to create your documents, either regular letters or legal letters and others. Now, this lesson introduces how to use a desktop application, specifically Microsoft Word, to create simple documents. You will also be introduced to common features you will find in other desktop application. Upon completion of this lesson, you will be able to start and exit Microsoft Word, identify some common screen elements, create, save, and open documents, change view options for documents, insert, select, modify, and format text, manipulate text using common features, use the ruler to create, modify, or delete tab settings, change margins, paper size, or the orientation, insert or remove page breaks, insert or remove page numbers, apply column formats, use, find, and replace, print and review documents, insert pictures or multimedia files, work with tables, track changes made in documents. Every computing device follow a specific standard for how an app or application works. This is often set by the operating system installed on the device. For instance, every touchscreen device allows you to use the finger and tap to access the program or a feature such as playing a song. It enables you to use your index finger and the thumb to pinch in or out to zoom in or out on the screen. An Apple device such as the MacBook displays icons at the top left corner of the program window to minimize, maximize, restore, down, or close a program. A Windows device also has icons to minimize, maximize, restore, down, or close a program. The difference is that these icons are located at the top right corner of the program window. You will find as you begin using various devices, whether they are mobile or desktop models, that there are a number of common elements on the screen and that there are common methods for performing specific tasks. Many of these common elements appear in the same location on the screen. So for example, the first two tabs of the ribbon in any Microsoft Office program are the File and Home tabs. Other tabs in the ribbon are program specific. Among application programs and open within the operating system as well, you can use common methods to perform actions such as copying, moving, and pasting items, selecting items, navigating the interface, formatting or enhancing the look of text, and printing. Additionally, the same keyboard shortcuts are assigned by default in many programs for accessing these common features. For instance, press Ctrl plus C to copy a selection or press Ctrl plus A to select all items in the document. The common features are demonstrated throughout this module, beginning with Microsoft Word. As you progress through the lessons, you will come to see that they are relatively universal. Starting an application. To start an application, you need to install on a Windows 10 device. No? Click the Start button at the lower left corner of the taskbar. Click the All Apps command. Scroll in the list and click the menu item for the application you want. For example, to start Word, click Word 2016. But sometimes you have 2010, 2013, or 2019. But based on our given discussion, no, This Microsoft Word, using Microsoft Word, focus on Microsoft Word 2016. And actually synonymously the same with 10, 13, 16, and 19. If the system has been set up to display icons on the taskbar for the Microsoft Office programs, click the icon to start Word. And of course, for us to exiting an application, to exit or to close an application installed on Windows 10 device, click the close or X button at the top right corner of the application window. If the system has been set up to display icons on the taskbar for the Microsoft Office programs, point at the icon and click the X or close button for the preview window. Understanding the backstage view. When you first start an Office 2016 application, the program will display a startup screen of available templates to help you to get started quickly. A template is a boilerplate that already contains elements such as sample text and format settings. Office programs include templates for a wide variety of documents. The startup screen is one of the tabs or the new tab in the Office Backstage view. So, as what we have here, no? We have different templates actually. You use the startup screen to indicate the type of document you want to work with. You can choose to create a blank new document or workbook or presentation by clicking the first template listed in the gallery, or you can click one of the other templates to create a document that includes pre-configured elements like resume and others. You can access the other elements of the Backstage view from the Start screen by clicking the Open Other Documents link. Use the Backstage view to create, open, save, print, and manage your files. The commands and options available here are related to things you can do with the entire file itself. For example, you can display information about the file, create a new file or open an existing file, assign a password, save a file with a different name, print or share the files with others. You access the appropriate commands on the various tabs of the Backstage view. And these tabs are Info, New, Open, Save, Save As, History, Print, Share, Export, Close, and Account. The new tab is the Start Up screen. Looking at the Edit screen, Microsoft Word is one of the most popular word processing programs used for creating various types of documents. From a short letter or memo to an annual report or brochures. Once you start Word and choose a new blank document, the screen appears similar to the print screen provided in our presentation. So we have File tab, Quick Access Toolbar, Ribbon tabs, Title bar, Tell, Minimize, Restore, and Maximize or Close, Ribbon Display Options. We have an insertion point, of course, at the center. At the bottom, we have status bar. At the right side, we have view buttons and zoom slider. The File tab, click this tab to open the Backstage view to manage files. The Quick Access toolbar, gain quick access to frequently used commands. Title bar, indicate which file in programs is currently displayed in the window. The minimize, maximize, restore, down, or close affect the size of the application window on the screen. The ribbon tabs, click a tab to access commands to complete a specific type of task. Tell me, a help options where you can type keywords about a particular type of a task and view information from the Word help system on how to complete the task. Insertion point, the flashing bar on the screen that indicates your current position in the document, and commonly referred to as the cursor. Insertion point, the flashing bar again, of course, the status bar, find information about the document currently displayed, such as which page or slide you are viewing, or the total number of pages, or whether an error condition exists. The view buttons. Click to quickly change between the different document views available in the application. Zoom slider. Click the buttons to zoom in or out in increments of 10% or drag the slider button to a specific zoom percentage. So again, this will be the exact definition of file tab, quick access toolbar, title bar, minimize, maximize, restore, down, close, ribbon tabs, tell me, insertion point, status bar, view buttons, and zoom slider. It is very important to us to understand all of this for us to manipulate easy the Microsoft Word environment. Specifically, if we wanted to use different commands included to this Microsoft Word environment. Accessing commands features. Many features and conventions shown here in Word area consistent across all programs in Office Suite. Using screen tips. Use screen tips to help identify buttons or elements on the tabs of the ribbons and on the screen. To avoid a screen tip, position the mouse pointer over the item. A tip displays the name of the button or features and sometimes a brief description of its purpose. In some cases, the screen tip will provide a keyboard shortcuts as an alternative way to activate the feature. Using the quick access toolbar. The quick access toolbar is located above the file tab and includes buttons for frequently used commands. By default, this toolbar includes the save, undo, redo buttons. Then if you have a touchscreen device, it may also include a touch or mouse mode buttons as seen in the following image. You can customize the quick access toolbar to include additional commands you want to access quickly, such as opening or new blank document, printing a document, or running a spell check. When you point at or click a button on the quick access toolbar, it will appear with a different background color. Using the ribbon. The ribbon helps you quickly find the common buttons you require to complete a task. Command buttons are grouped logically on each tab, with each tab relating to a type of activity, such as inserting pictures into a document. Some tabs appear only when they are applicable, as when a picture or table is inserted into the document. A command button is active when it appears with a different color background, as seen with the align left button in the previous image. A command button with arrow provides two choices. Click a command button to activate this option with the current settings, or click the arrow to display a drop-down menu with more options for the command. Each tab on the ribbon includes group of related commands. For example, the Home tab includes a font group that includes buttons for formatting text characters, while the Insert tabs include an illustration group from which you can select different types of media to insert into a document. If the group includes with a scroll bar or scroll buttons, click the More button below the bottom scroll button to display a full list or gallery of choices for the features. For example, you can click the More button in the Style group on the Home tab of the ribbon to display a full gallery of document style as shown, as what we have here. When you position the mouse pointer over an option in the gallery, the program displays a live preview of how the selected item will appear if you apply that option. You can turn off the preview option in File Options if you prefer. Some group of the ribbon include a dialog box launcher button at the right or at the lower right of the group. Click the dialog box launcher to open the corresponding dialog box, task pane, or window associated with the feature you want to apply. For example, click the dialog box launcher in the paragraph group on the Home tab to open the paragraph dialog box. Click the dialog box launcher in the clipboard group on the Home tab to open the clipboard task pane. Controlling the display of the ribbon. The ribbon can be hidden or minimized temporarily to make more space on the screen for the document, worksheet, or a slide you are working with. To minimize the ribbon, double-click a tab or click Collapse the ribbon on the far right of the ribbon. To redisplay the ribbon, click the Ribbon Display option button at the top right of the screen and then select the display type from the menu. You can also double-click a ribbon tab to display the ribbon again. Typing involves using the keyboard to input or enter text seen on the screen. Editing includes actions such as inserting and deleting single characters, words, or multiple lines of text, correcting typographical errors, and inserting or deleting blank lines between paragraphs. The following are the basic concepts related to typing and editing text. You can type or insert text at the insertion point in any location you want. The insertion point will move to the right as you type. To move the insertion point to another location in the document, click at the location. To remove text, use the backspace key to delete characters to the left of the insertion point, or press delete or delete characters to the right of the insertion point. Press enter only when you want to end a paragraph or to add a blank line. The press enter only, of course, if you're done with the paragraph itself. These basic concepts are applicable to all word processing programs, regardless of the software vendor. A major benefit of word processing program is that they allow you to focus on creating the content. For example, a feature called a word wrap enables you to type continuously. The program will automatically move the insertion point to the next line as you reach the right margin. You need to press enter only when you want to start a new line. Using the rulers. The rulers help you identify where to position text, either vertically or horizontally. To turn the ruler on or off, on the View tab in the Show group, click Ruler. The ruler uses the default measurement for your location. We use inches as our measurement. You can change the unit of measurement and the display area of the advanced category in Word options. You can select from inches, centimeters, millimeters, points, or picas. Selecting text. Selecting or highlighting text tells Word exactly which portion of text you want to change. Once text has been selected, the selection remains in place until you deselect it. This allows you to apply multiple actions on that selection. The only exception is when you delete or replace the selection with a new text. If you inadvertently make the wrong selection or you wish to remove the selection, click anywhere in the document window or press any arrow direction key to deselect and then begin the selection procedure again. You can select text using the mouse or keyboard, and occasionally, you may want to use a combination of mouse and keyboard to select larger pieces of text. Selecting consecutive text. To select text using the mouse, position the mouse pointer at the beginning of the text to be selected and then drag to highlight the text. We need to take note that to select text using the keyboard, position the insertion point, hold down Shift, and then press the arrow keys to move the insertion point to highlight the text. Release Shift when the text is highlighted. To select a word, double-click the word. To select a sentence, hold Ctrl and click anywhere in the sentence. To select a paragraph, triple-click anywhere in the paragraph. To select the entire document on the Home tab. In the editing group, click Select and then click Select All, or just simply press Ctrl A. To select the entire document, on the Home tab, in the editing group, click Select and then click Select All again, or press Ctrl plus A. Selecting non-consecutive text. To select multiple pieces of text in different areas of the document, you must select the first piece of the text and then press the hold Ctrl as you select the next piece of the text. Managing files. As noted previously, it is important to understand file management so you can save and open documents. The concepts learned in working with files in an operating system can be applied here when determining where to save files or where to find files to open to the screen. Saving documents. It is important to save your documents frequently as you work on them. This ensures that if an unexpected problem arises, such as power outage, you will have a recently saved version of your work and not be forced to recreate all of it. You can save files to any location on the local drive, a network drive, or a portable media device such as USB flash drive. Once you have saved a file, you can retrieve or open it from any of these locations. You can have multiple documents open on the screen, including new documents that you have not saved yet. Saving documents. To save a document, click the File tab and then click Save or Save As. You can also click the Save button on the Quick Access toolbar or press Ctrl plus S to quickly save the document. To save an existing document with a different name, use Save As in the File tab. The first time you save a document, the backstage view opens with the Save As tab selected. The first panel displays the available location for saving your document, and these locations are associated with your Microsoft or network account. The second panel provides you options regarding the file name in File tab, File type. It will also display a list of commonly accessed folders, for example, documents or pictures. And these folders vary based on the location currently selected in the first panel. For instance, the first screen in the following image display what appears if you are using OneDrive. The online storage location provided by Microsoft. The second image display folder available in the document folder on the local drive. We notice how the location is clearly identified at the top of the second panel, thereby giving you the option to click the arrow before the location name if you want to move to another location. You can also click more options below the file type to open the Save As dialog box, from which you can navigate to any location. Click Save to save the documents. How often you save a document depends on how much work you put into it. If you make a large numbers of changes, save the document frequently as you work to preserve your changes. If you see a message from Word prompting you to save a document, this means Word recognizes something has changed in the document since it was last saved. If you're not sure whether you should save the document again, err on the side of caution and save it with a different name than the original. Understanding Word in file types. By default, Word automatically assigns a .docx extension to the end of the file name. However, you can save a Word document in other file formats. Word, like most word processing applications, can handle several document types. This allows you to create a file in one program and save it to a format readable by other programs. For example, if you create a file in Word and need to share the file with someone who does not have Word but has an application that supports any of these listed file types, you can save your document to the type you have in common and then successfully share the file. The file types commonly associated with word processing programs include Word document. An extension name is .docx. This is the file type associated with Microsoft Word 2007 and later. This is the default format for Word 2016. Word document or .doc. This is the file type associated with Microsoft Word version prior to 2007. Many word processing programs can open files with a .doc extension, plain text or .txt, a text file that can be read on any operating system. This format does not include formatting of any kind, nor does it include tables or images. Rich text format or .rtf, a text file that preserves font and paragraph formatting and can include embedded images. Portable document format or .pdf, a file format developed by Adobe systems that allows you to view documents with formatting in images on any operating systems. Publisher document file or .pub, the default file format used in the Microsoft Publisher. This type of file includes layout, information, and can include formatting, graphics, hyperlinks, charts, and other types of objects. To save a Word document as different file type, click the arrow for the Save as Type field and field below the file name field to display a list of available file formats. You can again save a lot of different file formats. Starting or closing a new document. Each time you start Word, the backstage view appears where you can easily create a new blank document. Choose from a variety of built-in templates that will help you to lay out of a particular types of documents such as invitations, meetings, agendas, or business memos, or open an existing files. To create a new blank document in Backstage, click New and then click Blank Documents from the list of documents. You can also press Ctrl plus N to quickly create a new blank document, and the shortcut can be used in all Office applications. To choose from the variety of pre-designed templates for a new document, click one of the templates displayed and click Create. Each time you create a new document, a document number will automatically appear in the title bar. For example, if you have 3 new Word documents open and you create another new one, Word will assign it the number 4 and the title bar will display document 4. Document numbering resets back to document 1 each time you start a new session of Word. Use this generic name as a reminder that you have not yet saved the file when a descriptive and memorable name. Closing a document. Once you have finished editing a document, close the document to clear the screen and the memory. This enables you to start or open another document without all documents cluttering up your screen. To close a document, click the File tab and then Close. You can also press Ctrl plus W or Ctrl plus F4 to close a document quickly. The shortcut can be used in all Office applications. Or, to close the Word application, click X or the Close button. Again, in closing a document, once you have finished editing a document, close the document to clear the screen and memory. This enables you to start or open another document without all documents cluttering up your screen. To close a document, click the File tab and then Close. The key fact that you can also press Ctrl plus W or Ctrl plus F4 to close a document quickly. This shortcut can be used in all Office applications. To close the Word application, click X or the Close button. Opening a document. Once a file is saved, you can open it from wherever it is located. The document is presented on the screen for further processing. You can open as many documents as needed. Only the amount of available memory on your system limits the number of documents you can have open simultaneously. Use one of the following methods to open a document. Click the File tab, click Open, click the location where the files or its folder is located, and click Browse to select the file using the Open dialog box. We need to take note that you can also press Ctrl plus O or Ctrl plus F12 and then navigate to where the file is located. This can be used with all Office applications. You can click Enable Editing to open the document for editing, or you can choose to keep working in protected view to protect your computer or to ensure that you do not inadvertently make changes to the file while using or viewing it. A file open in protected view is in read-only mode. You will not able to do anything other than read and file until you click Enable Editing. When you view the properties for this file in Backstage, the following screen display at the right side, the info. And you notice that word reminds you that you are still in protected view. You can then choose to view more information about this mode. And you can manually open a file in protected view using an option in the Open dialog box. Click File and Open. Then click Browse to open the Open dialog box. Navigate the file, click it to select it, then click the arrow for the Open button, and click Open in protected view. Notice that you can also choose to open the file in read-only format. If you do not want to inadvertently make changes to the document, if you select this option, Word will prompt you to save the file with a different name, thereby keeping the original file intact. Opening or saving with the read-only option. The read-only option can be applied to a document when you open it or when you save it. To open a document as read-only, display the open dialog box, select the file of to open, then click the arrow for the open button, then choose the open read-only command. To save a document with the read-only feature, use a method to save the document that will display the Save As dialog box, then click the arrow next to the tool commands and click General Options. Once you click the read-only recommended option, you can click OK, then click Save. Anyone who opens this document is then notified that the file is read-only and can only be saved with a different name than the original. Manipulating text. Editing is the process of adding, deleting, or changing text. In many cases, you will select text before you edit it. Be careful when making changes to selected text. The moment you press a key or click an option, all the selected text is affected. Customizing the view. On occasion, you may need to change the view to see more or less of the document before you can select the piece of text. You can adjust how a document displays by selecting the appropriate option using the View tab. Read mode. Useful for reading a document as pages are adapted to the size of your monitor for easy reading. A series of buttons you can use in read mode appears across the top of the screen. This view displays automatically when you are viewing a Word file sent as an attachment in email. Print layout. Display file contents as if you sent the documents to the printer, and this is the only view in which the vertical ruler displays. Web layout. Adjust text and other elements such as pictures to show how the document will look as a web page. Outline. Collapses a document to display headings to assist you in organizing content flow. A draft. Display the content of the document to the full width of the screen with only the horizontal roller visible. To switch between the commonly used views, click one of the view buttons at the lower right corner of the status bar. Adjusting the zoom. The ability to enlarge the text display can be very useful when you are working with a small font size, whereas the ability to reduce the zoom display is useful when you are working with landscape or horizontal orientation. To adjust the zoom display, click an option, the zoom area on the status bar. Click the zoom level button to open the zoom dialog box if you want to choose a specific zoom percentage or the number of pages to show. You can set the zoom percentage anywhere from 10% to 500%, or you can have Word automatically adjust the magnification to view the entire width of the page of text on screen. When changing the view, the position of the insertion point will determine the zoom area. Keep in mind that the zoom feature controls only the screen display. The amount of text that display when you change the zoom percentage is based on the display setting and size of your monitor. Changing the magnification level has no effect on the size of the text or images when it is printed. Using undo. Anytime you perform an action and the need to reverse the action, such as editing, adding, deleting, or formatting text, on the quick access toolbar, click the undo button to undo the last actions or command performed. You can also press Ctrl plus A to undo the last action, and this works in all Office applications. You can also click the arrow for the undo button to display a list of the last 100 consecutive actions performed. You can undo sequential actions only. So for example, in the illustration at the right or the bottom, to undo the estimated sales 2017 text, you must also undo the two actions before this action. The only command cannot be used to reverse certain actions such as saving a file or printing a file. Generally, the undo feature cannot be used on any commands accessed through the File tab. Using repeat or redo, if you change your mind after undoing an action, you can redo the action by clicking the redo button on the quick access toolbar. This key will appear in the color once there is an action to undo or redo. If you want Word to repeat the last action on a quick access toolbar, click repeat. And you can repeat this action anywhere in the document simply by clicking in the next location and clicking repeat. For instance, you change the spacing for a paragraph and would like to use the same spacing on the other paragraphs on page 2. You can repeat the spacing change action as many times as you need until you perform a different actions. You can also press Ctrl plus Y to redo the last action or press F4 to repeat the last action. And this works in all Office applications. Using cut, copy, and paste. Occasionally, you want to insert text into a document from another document or from another location in the current document. Word uses the clipboard to temporarily store any cut or copied items such as text or graphics. You can then paste items or these items into place whenever you choose. The main difference in using cut and copy is that the cut command actually removes the selection from its original spot in paste or places it in a new location. Using the copy command makes a copy of the selection, leaving the original intact, and paste the copy in the new location. To cut or remove an item, select the item first and then on the Home tab, in the clipboard group, click Cut. To copy an item, first select the item and then on the Home tab, in the clipboard group, click Copy. To paste an item, first place the insertion point where you want to paste the item and then on the Home tab, in the clipboard group, click Paste. You can also press Ctrl plus X to cut an item, Ctrl plus C to copy an item, or Ctrl V to paste the item. These keys are commonly used in other applications. Once you paste an item, the Control or Paste Options button appears at the bottom right of the paste item, with choices for pasting the selected items. So for example, you can specify to match the formatting in the destination area, keep the source formatting, or paste only text if text and graphics were copied. Using the Office clipboard. While the traditional Windows clipboard offers the ability to store only one item, Office offers the ability to store and retrieve up to 24 items. It also shows you the contents of the clipboard along with an icon presenting the software program that was used to create each item. To display the clipboard task pane, on the Home tab in the clipboard group, click the clipboard dialog box launcher. You can collect items from any program up to maximum of 24 items and then paste them into one or more documents. You can collect new previous items accumulated on the clipboard will be replaced by the newer items. To paste one item into the current location in the document, click that item on the clipboard. Point at an item on the clipboard to display a drop-down arrow at the right of that item. Click the arrow to display a menu. Use delete to delete only these items from the clipboard, or use paste to paste only this item into the current location. Understanding drag and drop. Once text is selected, you can quickly move text by dragging it to the new location and then dropping or releasing the mouse button to place the text. As you drag selected text, the mouse cursor will display. As use this as reminder that you are dragging text. It is recommended that you use drag and drop when you need to move text a small distance in the documents. Applying formatting. Formatting refers to any process that alters the appearance or position of text or other objects in the document. Word provides a number of formatting options that can be applied within a document for all types of objects. Accordingly, be careful with the number of formatting options you apply, considering who your audience is and how they will view the message in the document. For example, if you apply the all caps, bold, italic, and superscript formats to a sentence, it can be very distracting and difficult to read. Enhancing text character. Character formatting refers to any feature that changes the appearance of characters on the screen and in print. You can control the following aspects to character formatting. We have font. It describes the typeface of a characters on the screen, and it prints such as Courier, New, or Bradley. And at present, the default is Calibre. Font size refers to the height of the characters. As characters get taller, they also grow wider. The default font size is 11 for 2016 and 2019. Character formatting. It refers to the special stylized variation applied to plain characters to make them stand out from other text. They include bold, italics, and various kinds of underline. We have effects. Apply special effects to the text such as strike through, superscript or subscript, shadow, small caps, and so on. There are several ways to apply formatting to selected text characters. The quickest method is to click the appropriate formatting button from the font group on the Home tab. You can also enhance text using keyboard shortcuts such as Ctrl+B for bold, Ctrl+I for italic, or Ctrl+U for underline. As you select text for formatting, you will see the mini toolbar appear. It contains buttons for applying specific common features for formatting characters and paragraphs. Enhancing paragraphs. Word provide a number of tools that allow you to change an entire paragraph to best suit the message in your document. Many of the following items will affect the amount of vertical white space between lines of text in paragraphs, and several of these tools can also assist you in maintaining consistency in order to produce a professional-looking document. Aligning text. Alignment refers to the way the left and right edges of a paragraph line up horizontally on the page. You can easily change the alignment in your document using one of the following four options in the paragraph group on the Home tab. We have align left, align right, center, and justify. Align left aligns text to the left margin with a ragged or uneven edge of the right side of the text. Center aligns text between the left and right margins to an imaginary line down the middle of the page. Align right align text to the right margin with a ragged or uneven edge on the left side of the text. Justify. Align text so that left and right edges of the text are flush with the margins, and each line of text is evenly spaced out between the margins except for the last line of each paragraph. Paragraph spacing refers to the amount of space between paragraphs of text. Although it is possible to create extra space between paragraphs by pressing enter to insert blank lines, most published documents are set to insert a specific amount of space between paragraphs. Line spacing. Changing line spacing refers to the amount of space between lines of typed text measured from the baseline of the line to the baseline of the next. Word automatically adjusts the amount of space between lines according to the size of the characters being used. However, you can also specify that line spacing be set to an exact measurement. To set or change the line spacing on the Home tab in the paragraph group, click Line in Paragraph Spacing. It is important to note that a precise line spacing setting will not adjust to accommodate larger text if the font size is changed. It's also important to note that if you decrease line spacing too much, the lines of the text may overwrite each other or the text may not display. Setting paragraph spacing. Paragraph spacing refers to the amount of space between paragraphs or text. Although it is possible to create extra space between paragraphs by pressing enter to insert blank lines, most published documents are set to insert a specific amount of space between paragraphs. This enables you to set spacing slightly smaller than a full line, which then reduces the amount of white space on a page and ensures consistency throughout a document. To set or change the paragraph spacing, click the Layout tab in the paragraph group. Set the spacing as required. Understanding tab settings. Setting tabs or tab stops is similar to aligning text. The difference is that setting tabs allows you to align information at specific intervals across the page so that the text is lined up in columns. Use appropriate tab alignment characters to match the type of data that will be entered. For instance, you can use a right tab to line up whole integer numbers, but would probably want to use a decimal tab to line up values with decimal places. Click the tab selector box to choose the alignment type. A screen tip appears defining its symbol and how it will align your tab columns, as what we have here at the bottom. We have the left. Aligns text at the tab setting with characters shifting right as you type. It is the default setting. Center. Centers text along an imaginary line down from the tab setting with characters shifting evenly to the left and right as you type. Right. Aligns all text along the right edge of the tab setting with characters shifting left as you type. Bar. Display a small vertical line as the separator between the previous and next column of information. Decimal. Aligns to the left of the decimal point until you type the decimal point. Then, text shifts to the right of the decimal point. In order to use tabs for aligning text, you need to do two things. Number one, define the position of the tab is tabs on the page, or use the tab key when entering text. To insert a tab setting, select an alignment type from the tab selector box. Then click on the horizontal roller at the measurement for this tab stop. Once all tab stops are set on the roller, begin typing the text for the report. Pressing the tab key tells Word to move the insertion point to the text tab stop position on this line. You can then continue entering text. On how the text flows at the new position will depend on the type of the tab being used. Pressing tab again will move the insertion point to the position of the next tab stop on the line, and so on. When you have entered the desired text at the last of your tab stop, position of the next tab stop on the line, and so on. When you have entered the desired text at the last of your tab stop position on the line, press enter to start a new paragraph. Press tab to move to the position of your first tab stop in the next paragraph, and so on. When you need to edit a tab setting that is currently applied to existing text, be sure to select the text first. Otherwise, the revised tab setting is applied only to the current line. For example, to adjust a tab setting for a list of 10 names, select the 10 lines of text and then drag the tab character to its new location on the roller. Consider the following tips regarding setting tabs. Click the tab selector box until the desired tab alignment, character display, and then click in the roller where the tab stop is to be placed. The items in the tab selector box cycle through each time you click the box. If you go past the alignment option you want, click until the desired character appears. When placing a tab stop on the roller, position the pointer close to the measurement mark in the bottom half of the roller. A vertical dash line will appear to verify the tab stop as you click in the roller to set the tab stop. To remove a tab stop, click the tab character on the roller and drag it up or down off the roller. To clear all the current tabs at once, press Ctrl plus Q. To adjust the position of a tab stop, click the tab character on the roller and drag it to the new position. Formatting the documents. There are several options you can use to alter the way pages are laid out for different types of documents. Options include, for example, setting the margins to print differently for odd and even pages, or changing the paper size in order to print an envelope. This option can be quickly selected from the Layout tab. So we have margins, orientation, size, and columns. Changing the paper size. The default paper size is determined by the language and regional settings for your system. The following example is set for English US, which uses 8.5 by 11 or standard letter size in this region. You can change this for any document using the Layout tab. To change the paper size for a document, on the tab Layout, in the Page Setup group, click Size and then select the required size from the list. Changing the orientation. Orientation refers to the way the document will print on the page. Portrait refers to a vertical orientation, while landscape refers to a horizontal orientation. To change the orientation for a document, on the Layout tab, in the Page Setup group, click Orientation, then select an option. In changing margins, margins determine the amount of space between the edge of the paper and the area where the text is printed. You can adjust the margin settings for the entire document or for specific parts of the document. The boundaries for the top and bottom margins are easy to see. They appear as the divider line between the lighter and darker shades on the ruler. When you position the mouse pointer at the margin point on the vertical and horizontal rollers, a screen tip appears similar to those shown at the right. To change your margins, on the Layout tab in Page Setup group, click Margins. Or to adjust the margins using the ruler, point the mouse pointer at the margin, and when the appropriate arrow appears, drag to the measurement you want to mark to the margin. Adding page numbers. You can add page numbers to a document at any time. Page numbers can be inserted at any position on the page, though they are usually placed in the header or footer. To insert page numbers into your document, on the Insert tab, in the header and footer group, click Page Number. Top of page. Display possible positions from a gallery of top of page numbering options. Bottom of page. Display possible positions from a gallery of bottom of page numbering options. Page margins. Display possible positions from a gallery of margin numbering options. Current positions. Display numbering options, page number only, page number of number, and so on, to apply to the current page number location. Font page numbers or format page numbers. Display various numbering style 1, 2, 3, Roman numerals, as well as options to begin numbering at the digit other than the number 1. Word allows you to set up newspaper style columns wherein text from the bottom of the one column flows to the top of the next. This makes it an ideal layout for documents such as newsletter and reports. If you want to end the flow of text at the bottom of the one column, insert a column break and force text to the top of the next column. To insert a column break, press Ctrl plus Shift plus Enter. We need to take note that when you change the column layout of a document, the entire document changes unless you specify otherwise. To change the column layout for only a portion of the document, select the portion of text and make the appropriate column layout change. Word automatically insert the appropriate breaks for this selection. Preparing the document for printing. Before distributing your document to others, always take a moment to look over the document to correct any spelling, grammatical, or contextual errors and to remove any repetitive text. This helps to ensure your document represents you in your company or school in a professional manner. Proofing the document. Word provides tools to automate proofing and also display visual hints if it encounters an item that should be reviewed. Red wavy lines indicates the word is not recognized in either the current or custom word dictionary. Blue wavy lines indicate grammatical or structural errors or a potential contextual error. The spelling and grammar features provides option to help you check for spelling and grammatical errors, such as the ability to create custom dictionaries for special terms you may use in your work. The spelling portion checks for incorrect spelling, duplicate words, and occurrences of incorrect capitalizations. The grammar portion detects sentences with grammatical errors or weak writing style based on widely accepted standards in the language for English only, overall, as well as some regional variations such as American versus British English. In Word, the spelling and grammar feature works in the background to check for mistake as you type. This enables you to correct mistakes immediately. However, you can still run a spelling and grammar check when you are finished creating the document. To run a spelling and grammar check on the Review tab in the Proofing group, click Spelling and Grammar. Actually, you can also press F7 to begin a spell check of the entire document, and this works in all Office applications. So as what we have here, on the given example, we have a spelling Washington and grammar in. So, Word currently does not have a dictionary installed for English United States to see definitions. So, we can get a dictionary. For capitalization in titles, articles in short preposition and conjunction should be in lowercase within titles. The first word in the title is always capitalized. Instead of course, we consider another options. When Word finds the first misspelled word in the document, it displays the item in the spelling and grammar pane at the top. You click an option to specify how you want to proceed. Ignore. Ignores this occurrence of this spelling but continues to search for other occurrence of this spelling. Ignore all. Ignores all occurrences of this spelling. This might apply to a person name or some technical jargon. Add. Add this spelling to your custom dictionary. In addition to providing a regular dictionary, Word allows you to build a custom dictionary so that it will not identify as misspelled words, names, jargon, slang, or regional spellings you use often. Suggestion. Display a list of alternatives for the misspelled word. If the correct word is in the list, click it and then click Change or Change All. Or double-click the word to change it immediately. We have Change. Changes this occurrence with the selected word in the suggestion box. Change All. Change all words with this spelling with the selected words in the suggestion box. Near the bottom of the pane is the definition of the word, if applicable, and the list of words that can be used in place of this word. This is helpful if you find yourself repeating the word several times on a page. The types of the word that appears will depend on the type of word. That is, if it is a noun, verb, or adjective. If you have sound available on your device, you can also click the speaker icon to hear the pronunciation of the word. Grammatical or contextual errors appear in the grammar pane as the grammar checker encounters them. Grammatical error occurs when word has detected a structural error in the text, such as too many spaces, incorrect or missing punctuation, incorrect verb tense, or passive versus active voice in the sentence. Contextual error refers to a word that have the same sound but different spellings and meaning depending on that context. Some words that often give rise to contextual error include their refers to a place, their possessive form, or their contraction for they are. Its possessive form and its contraction for it is. Where refers to a location where goods or services and where attire or clothing. Write used the tool to describe ideas and write direction or suitability. A lot to distribute and a lot as quantity. Contextual error as with spelling or grammar errors appear at the top of the spelling and grammar pane. Suggestion. Provide a list of suggestions as to how to fix this error. Ignores this occurrence but continues to find other occurrences of the same grammatical error. Changes the error identified in the top box with the highlighted option in the suggestion box. In the lower half of the pane, you will see an explanation as to how or why the text was marked as an error. The text in this box changes to reflect the grammatical error identified. Finding and replacing items. You can use the Find feature to locate occurrence of the specific words, phrases, symbols, codes, formatting, or any combination of these items in your document. You might use the Find feature as a quick way to find a word you think you may have misspelled or to refer back to a particular piece of information. Once you've found what you're looking for, you can replace it, check for other occurrences, or continue working with your document. To activate the Find feature, press Ctrl plus F to display the navigation pane. With the navigation pane, you need only enter the text you want to find in the search field and press Enter. Or click Search for more things. To have word search your document, word lists any matches it finds in the navigation pane and summarizes when you can see some of the text around the found occurrence to determine if this is an item you want to view or change. When you click a result in the list, Word moves the insertion point to the document location so you can make a change if needed. If there are a large number of results, use the buttons to scroll up and down and the list to find the item you want to review. Each time you activate the Find feature within any given word session, Word will display the last search criteria entered. When you exit Word, all the boxes in the Find and Replace dialog box will clear. To immediately clear the search field, click the X or Stop Searching button. Replacing items. To activate the Replace feature on the Home tab in the Editing group, click Replace. You can also press Ctrl plus H to open the Find and Replace dialog box. If you search for an item prior to activating Replace, the search criteria display in the Find What field. You can then enter what the replacement text should be in the Replace With field. We have more. Display other options that can be applied to narrow the search. Replace. To replace this one occurrence. Replace all. To replace all occurrences. Find next. To find the next occurrence to determine whether it should be replaced. And cancel. To cancel or close this feature. Printing the document. The print feature enables you to preview the document as will appear when printed. This gives you an opportunity to review the document before you print or distribute it to Discover. If there are problems with the appearance or layout, you can also use some of the print options to adjust or change the margins or orientation, or display one or more pages at that time prior to printing. To preview or print a document, click the File tab and click Print. Use the options in the first panel to control what prints, how it will print, and where it will print. You can also use press Ctrl plus P to display the print option in Backstage. Print. To print the document with the setting currently shown. Copies. To enables you to specify the number of copies to be printed. Printer. To select a printer from the list of installed printers. Use the printer properties link to choose option for how the output is printed, either single or double-sided or black and white or color. Print slides. Specify whether to print on one or both sides of each sheet of paper. Setting. Select how much of document or which specific pages or items to print. Collated. If printing multiple copies, choose how each page is printed. For example, complete copies of the full document or copies of each page individually, which must then be collated into full documents. Orientation. Choose which orientation should be used for printing this document. Paper size. To choose the paper size to use for printing this document. Margins. To choose the margins to apply when printing this document. And paper or pages per sheet. Select the number of pages to print per sheet. Use the option at the bottom of the second panel to move among pages in the document, to adjust the zoom level, or to zoom into the page. You can point at an image to show some properties about the picture. specifically where this picture is located and who may own the picture. To insert the image, click the checkbox at the top left of the image and then click Insert. If there is more than one image on the search result page that you would like to insert into the document, click each image you want to use. The images will be inserted into the current cursor location and can then be moved to other parts of the document. You can also narrow the search by choosing one of the links below the search field if you have specific requirements at the size of the image. To search for another category of pictures, delete the text in the search field and enter the new search criteria. You can insert pictures using both methods in all Office applications. Manipulating objects. Any picture you insert into a document will appear with 8 handles when it is selected in the document. Handles are the small circles or square that appears around the perimeter of the picture. They confirm that the object has been selected and that you can now make changes to it. This enables you to vary in appearance but always appear around the selected pictures. You can insert pictures into a document as inline objects, the default setting actually, or as floating objects. An inline object acts as the text character in a paragraph. A floating object can be placed anywhere it floats in the document. Regardless of which you may insert a picture initially, you will be able to switch from inline to floating or vice versa using the Wrap Text feature from Format tab or the Picture Tools ribbon. You must select a picture, display its handles, before you can manipulate it in any Office application. Moving a picture. The drag and drop method is the easiest way to move a picture. However, take note of whether the picture is inline or floating before you try to move it, as this determines how and where you can move the picture. If it is an inline object, the mouse pointer displays as when you drag it. If it is floating object, the mouse pointer displays as and when you drag the picture, it changes to it. Sizing a picture. When you insert a picture into a document, it appears at its original size or the larger size that the page will accommodate. You can resize or rescale the picture to any portion you want. You use the same methods to size a picture whether it is inline or floating. You can use the handles to size a picture. Vertically, by dragging the middle horizontal handle at the top or bottom edge in or out. Horizontally, by dragging the middle vertical handle at the left or right edge or in or out. On the two adjacent sizes at once, by dragging one of the corner handles in or out. If you want to ensure that your resized picture remains in proportion, press Shift before you drag the appropriate handle. Wrapping text around the picture. Wrapping style affects the way the text flows around pictures and changes the way pictures are positioned in relation to the surrounding text. By default, the picture wrapping style is in line with text, which places at inline graphics at the insertion point. On a line or text in the document, the graphic then moves with the text as if it were a text character. Changing the wrapping style enables the picture to float or be positioned anywhere in the document. To change the text wrapping style for a picture object, select the picture and then on the Format tab of Picture Tools, in the Arrange group, click Wrap Text to choose the appropriate text wrapping style. Each text wrapping style provides a different effect for the picture in the text in the document. Use the previews to see which text wrap style is suitable for the picture and the document. You can also use a combination of these methods to achieve the desired effect. Cropping a picture. Cropping refers to the ability to cut off certain portion of the picture. Using this feature, you can crop pictures horizontally at the top or bottom, or vertically at the sides. For more precise cropping, you must use a dedicated graphics program. To crop the top or bottom of the picture, drag the top or bottom crop handle when you see. To crop the left or right side of the picture, drag the left or right crop handle when you see. To adjust to adjacent sides of the picture, drag one of the corner crop handles when you see. Using table. Use the table feature to arrange columns or text in numbers, group paragraphs side by side, or create forms. The following figure shows a table. So we have the table selector, column, cell, and row. When working with a table, you are working with cells within the table, the intersection between a column and a row. You can create a table before or after you type the text. You can enter text, number, or graphics into each cell. Text longer than the width of the cell will automatically wrap to the next line in the same cell. Use the table selector. Use the table selector to select the entire table. It appears at the top left corner of a table when your cursor is in or near the table. Once you create a table, the Table Tools ribbon appears, providing further options for the design or layout of the table. The insertion point must be somewhere in the table before this ribbon displays. Inserting a table. To insert a table, use one of the following methods. On the Insert tab, in the Table group, click Table. In the drop-down menu, position your mouse pointer over the box in the upper left corner and begin dragging across, down, or diagonally over the grid to specify the number of columns and rows you want. As you drag, Word will display the number of columns and rows for reference in the title area of the list. Use this feature to create a table of up to 10 columns by 8 rows. If you need a table larger than 8 by 10, use the Insert Table feature. You can also use this feature to display a dialog box with more options. Table size. Enter the number of columns and rows by typing the number into the box or using the incremental buttons. Auto-fit behavior. Select option for specifying an exact cell size or adjusting cell size to accommodate contents. Remember dimension for new tables. Remember the option you've selected and use them as the default setting for all new tables you create. You can adjust column widths or row heights as needed after the table is created. Once you create a table layout, a word places the insertion point in the first cell of the table for you to begin typing. You can use the following methods to move within a table using the keyboard. Press Enter to add more lines of text in the same cell. This will increase the row height. Press the Tab key to move to the next cell, or press Shift plus Tab to move to the previous cell. Formatting text in the table. You can format the text in the table in the same manner as you format regular text. You can also apply formatting option to the entire table or to the parts of it. You may find it easier to format or adjusting items once there is text in the table, especially if there are large pieces of text. Having the text in the cells will help you determine the best width for columns, style for headings and titles, and so on. Inserting and deleting rows, columns, and cells. You can insert additional rows and columns into the table after you have created it. To insert a single row or column, position the mouse pointer where you want the new row or column inserted. Under Table Tools, on the Layout tab, in the Rows and Columns group, click the appropriate option. To delete cells, rows, and columns, or an entire table, position the mouse pointer in the cell, row, or column to be deleted. Then under the Table Tools, on the Layout tab, in the Rows and Columns group, click the arrow for delete, and then select the appropriate option. Adjusting the width or height. You can adjust the width of each column, the height of each row, and the overall alignment of your table. You can also evenly space selected rows or columns in the table. To adjust the column width or row height, place the mouse pointer or the vertical line on either side of the column, or adjust when you see drag left or right to the desired column width. Or place the mouse pointer on horizontal line for the row to adjust, and when you see drag up or down to the desired row height. To distribute the width for each column or height of each row evenly, under Table Tools on the Layout tab, in the Cell Size group, click Distribute Rows or Distribute Columns. Merging and splitting cells. Table cells can be merged to create a single cell, or a cell can be split into multiple columns or rows. Merging cell is particularly useful when creating a title row for your table. To merge cells, select the cell and then under Table Tools or the Layout tab, in the Merge group, click Merge Cells. To split a cell into multiple cells, select the cell and then under Table Tools on the Layout tab, in the Merge group, click Split Cells. Specify the appropriate number of columns and rows, then click OK. Tracking changes. When you want others to review a document and yet still want to maintain control over the final changes, distribute copies to others with the Track Changes feature activities or activated. The Track Changes feature keeps track of edits made by other people and highlight them for you when you review the documents after others have made their changes. You can also track your own changes in a document, as Word will highlight the changes using color setup in the Advanced Options commands of the Track Changes options. To turn on or off Track Changes or Review tab in the Tracking group, click Track Changes. To control how much of the tracking information is visible on the screen, on the Review tab in the Tracking group, click the arrow for Display for Review and click an option. In a document that contains track changes, you can use the commands in the Changes group on the Review tab to move from one change or comment to the next. At each track change, you can specify whether to accept or reject the change. You can also click Next to bypass this change and move on to the next change for review. Word will move to the next change or comment once you accept or reject a change. To accept a change, click the change and then on the Review tab in the Changes group, click Accept or Accept and move to Next. To accept all changes in the document, click the arrow for Accept and then Accept all changes or Accept all changes and stop tracking. To reject a change, click the change and then Reject or Reject and move to Next. To reject all changes in the document, click the arrow for Reject and then Reject all changes or Reject all changes and stop tracking. And this will be my references. CCI Learning Solutions, 2016, page 263 to 305. Abante M, 2010, Basic Office Application, Anvil Publishing, Inc. Abante M, 2019, ICT Empowerment, MS Office Application, Unlimited Books, Incorporated. Before I end, this will be the lesson summary. This lesson introduces you to the Microsoft Word, where you learn how to create simple documents and how to manipulate the content for a professional look and layout. You should now be able to start and exit Microsoft Word, identify some common screen elements, create, save, and open documents, change view options for documents, insert, select, modify, and format text, manipulate text using common features, use the ruler to create, modify, or delete tab settings, change margin paper size or the orientation, insert or remove page breaks, insert or remove page numbers, apply column formats, use find and replace, print and preview documents, insert pictures or multimedia files, work with tables, and track changes made in documents. So, thank you for watching. I hope you've learned from my video presentation. Good luck. Enjoy the rest of the semester.